Hello, hello. Greetings, beautiful souls. I am Alicia Barney Matahari, the Heart Whisperer. I'm back at you today again with another reading. So let's take a look at what your message is. First up, we have the Queen of Materials, which is the Queen of Pentacles. See how in this card, she's at the center of what is speaking to me as the heart chakra. It's a very luscious card. There's a lot of nurturing and growth energy around you. Either this is the energy you're in, or it is the energy that surrounds you, which is one and the same, as within, so without. But we know it's not always as straightforward as that. But that is the energy that you've really cultivated within your own auric field, within your own body at a cellular level, the whole way through your physical, astral, and so on. You've also got the Page of Materials. So that's suggesting to me that you are working on something, or you have a dream in mind, or you have a project in mind, or a relationship. And I keep saying in mind because it's really drawing to me that the rose is covering her head. But what the page is suggesting to me is that it's at an early stage of whatever this is. It could be a relationship, it could be a project, it could be a health condition, it could be it could be anything like that, that again pertains to the earthly realm. I'm also seeing the Empress card in my mind, and the Empress card in the traditional Rider Waite, where she sat down and she is pregnant and she hasn't yet given birth. But there's that idea of the law of gestation, that not divine timing, but things take time to come to fruition in the physical world. You do what you need to do when it needs to be done, and then you allow nature to take its course. That's really, really beautiful. And with the Page of Materials, that's really suggesting like there's a lot of potential for this to move forward in a beautiful way. And the mental space, that you're really creating good energy and thoughts and a good mindset around it for yourself. And see how she's cloaked in this dress of roses, which is really, really beautiful. So a lot of consensus between the a lot of consensus between not only the heart and the head, but a lot of consensus between the spiritual and how that actually unfolds in 3D. Not being in this like push energy, I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. And then that can often lead us to disappointment when it blooms in a way that's different to what we expected. You've got the Nine of Swords here. So that's really suggesting to me that you're having this mastery over how you engage with this process mentally. Like this card always to me gives a serenity that I don't get in the traditional Rider Waite Nine of Swords. You're not laying awake at night worrying about it. In this case, she's sleeping and she's kind of given it up to spirit. She's done what she can do, and she's resting in the knowledge that she has trust that things will blossom, and that she is taking the steps in the 3D world to make it manifest. And it's just beautiful. And then you've got the Emperor card, which is, the emperor is the king of kings. The emperor has mastery over the four elements, over the mind space, over the cup space, over the 3D space, the material space, the pentacle space, and of course over the wand space. So there's that beautiful recipe of air and pentacles and wands and cups, that is this concoction that you're brewing up. Concoction being this beautiful alchemical process that you're working on to bring things into fruition, with a nurturing and a guiding and a loving it into existence, and a trust that it's all going to work out. Really, really beautiful. And then you have the Star card. So that is, you may have experienced some challenges which which you're now overcoming. So maybe to get to this point of this stage in this journey, you've had to overcome some mental challenges in terms of maybe putting down some ways of thinking that didn't work for you, and just learning how to relax into the process, maybe even learning how to have fun with the process, maybe even learning to have fun with this, whatever it is you're trying to bring into fruition. Maybe learning to, let others come in their own time, and learning to let things line up rather than just being on a mental schedule and forcing it. And this is also suggesting rejuvenation after a period of challenge, and also visibility and healing. So, this could indeed be a healing space to the mind that's allowing this to flow in such a beautiful, beautiful way. And then you've got the Two of Swords here. So, the Two of Swords, the Two of Voices. She's walking through a portal here. So again, that's suggesting to me that there was maybe a point of indecision where you didn't know which way to go, and that you might have been stuck in your head at one point. But at some point, you were able to just lay it down and just trust that I'm doing everything that I can. And I trust that what is for me will not pass me. And that I want others to be there in this space voluntarily. I don't want to emotionally extort them. I don't want them to be there out of a sense of guilt, or out of a sense of obligation, or out of a sense of fear. I want them to be there because it's in their heart to be there. And same for yourself. Really beautiful energy. And then we've got the Five of Emotions, which is the Five of Cups. That can be a regret card. It can be a grief card. So maybe you are coming from a space where you were more in that, let's say, kind of 21st century, everything is on a schedule. I'm hearing that phrase, too posh to push. And that's a reference to, I don't know if you're familiar with that phrase, but that's a reference to, like, the real alpha mother who schedules like when her baby is going to be born, and doesn't do it the natural way. And, she's on her cell phone kind of participating in the board meeting as she's about to give birth, and that she goes for cesarean, not because that's what's in the doctors are recommending, but because that's what's in the best interest of this particular birth, but because she's on a schedule. That's interesting that's coming, that's what I'm seeing, and that's how it's being shown to me. There's just a move away from this controlling, and controlling comes from a place of fear of lack of control. So just more, again, trust is coming up, just really moving forward. We have the Knight of Inspiration. So passion, creativity, and spirituality, like that internal fire. I'm seeing a pyramid, and the pyramid means the fire within. So really connecting to your own passion, and to your own trust, and to your own fire. I'm hearing champagne supernova in the sky, and we're in the year of the fire horse, which is just suggesting to me that you've really had, last year was the year of the wood snake, and that was about shedding old paradigms and old ways of being. And I feel you've really actually moved away from, well, me being in anxiety constantly and trying to figure out, why nobody is participating in a way that I say that they should. And a lot of that is subconscious, because we're very often in the modern world, especially in the Western world, we're very trained into that mindset. So when everybody's at that mindset, like, it just leads to a lot of like conflict, because everybody's on their own agenda. And really what we all need to be is on spirit's agenda, and spirit being collective unity agenda. And how she's able to turn this disappointment and this regret and this grief and all the things that, were disappointing into this. It's reminding me of the, no snowflake is the same, this unique, beautiful pattern. And she's able to make a beautiful ice sculpture out of all of the things that were disappointing her in the past. And she's able to move forward from it and move it outside of her and let her, I want to say, reap the wisdom from her experiences. Really gorgeous energy. And then you've got the page of inspiration under the emperor. So this is again suggesting a lot of creativity, a lot of passion, a lot of potential. And all this color here is suggesting to me that a lot of um, the chakra energies are in aligned, but it's really like it's in a cloud above her head. So she's really tapped into the earthly, but she's also very tapped into the higher realms as well. It's also, I'm seeing two cats here. It's also suggesting to me that she has this ability to kind of navigate through worlds, and that in the dream time, this seems off world to me. And in the dream time, she's able to really achieve a lot of her. It's a very productive and very rich time for her, because when we go to sleep, we're not actually just shutting down. Our bodies are resting and going to sleep and rejuvenating, but our soul, our mind, our astral, that's still active in a different way. We're just letting our bodies sleep. And being protective about that space is coming through, because it's around the emperor. So if you're not already doing rituals or setting intentions or having practices that gives you that protection when you're going to sleep, it might be something that you want to look into. And that would even supercharge what you're doing in the dream time, what you're doing in your dreams. And then also, if you don't already record your dreams and keep a dream journal, it might be very fruitful and very abundant and reveal a lot of things that your heart and your subconscious wants to share with you, that is not as available to you when you're having to run around and pay your bills and take care of the household and show up to all of your earthly commitments. Really beautiful. Oh my gosh. And the 10 of emotions, which is the 10 of cups, which is the ultimate happiness card, which is under the star. So a real healing space in that, a real healing and rejuvenation, renewed hope, visibility in that space of happiness. So this is speaking to me that whatever it is that you're working on, I mean, it could be, let's say, your vision board. It could be your vision for your entire life that we're talking about here. And I'm seeing that really, the energy that you're bringing to it now, because of the stage that you're in and the alignment that is beyond your personal control. Like the trajectory for it is just really, really beautiful. I feel like you've been through some times where it hasn't felt like that. And you had some things that, let's say, karmic things that you had to clean up from the past, and usually that comes from past life stuff, and that's just part of being incarnate and part of being human. But this next phase of whatever you're working on, whatever you're putting your energy towards, whatever you're really dancing with in all the realms, is projected to be just beautiful. And then to end, you've got the Two of Cups, which is a beautiful soulmate card. So we've got the two echoed in three cards here. So that could be suggesting a divine counterpart, because sometimes the Two of Cups can be that. It could also just be you coming into a unity with spirit itself, and just that knowing, where in the past, you might have had practices where you're working on your gratitude and working on your knowing, but now it's visceral, now it's integrated, now you really like have that feeling that you are part of, that you are a unity, that you are not separate, that there is no duality. So it could be all of the above. Really beautiful energy, collective. I'm really, really happy for you. I wish you blessings. I wish you absolute love for the rest of your day. And I hope to see you at another reading. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Take care. Bye bye.